Hello everybody, going to show you how to use our session manager here. We've made some updates to it. So first thing we're going to do after we log in is go right here to session manager. Then we're going to choose our meet. We're on our test meet currently. And we're going to skip over the AI powered session creation for now. I'll show you that in a minute, but I want to show you how to manually create sessions first. So we have, if you have women's and men's, you've got two tabs here. Okay, they're color coded, pink and blue. So you easily know which, level 6 is for your women and which level 6 is for your men, for instance. So we can, if we have a one floor meet, we can simply click on bubbles and it pops them down here into the groups. Shows you how many gymnasts are in this session, the estimated duration of the session based on all of your options. So let's select a date for maybe this weekend. You're going to choose, you don't really need to choose women or men anymore. It automatically flips as you go through between these two tabs. Flights, you can choose one flight or two flights. That changes your duration down here. Judges are going to change the duration as well. The more judges you have, the longer it takes typically. So this 8 judges is 2 judges per event. And then you can set your warm-up time. And as you set this, you're going to see the duration goes up a little bit because it's going to set your march-in time to 20 minutes later, your time warm-up to 5 minutes after the march-in, and then your awards time based on this duration. That's total duration from open warm-up time to awards. Now you can change any of this. It defaults to the 20 minutes after the warm-up and 5 minutes after the march-in. But you can change any of those that you want. You can change the awards. If you want to give yourself a little more time, that's fine. And then you would hit create session, and it just pops down here into the bottom and shows you all the same details you just saw. Okay, I'm going to delete that one for now. I'm going to show you how to do some more complex things. Maybe you're running a multi-floor meet. You're running a meet where there's multiple competitions going on at the same time. You click this link. You can see this drop down is empty currently because we don't know what your gyms are called. So you just hit the add button. Maybe you're using gym A and gym B. Maybe you're using red and blue. Whatever you're using here, you enter one of them. So let's say gym A. We're going to add another one, gym B. And maybe we're doing a 3-floor meet. We're going to add a gym C. Okay, and you can see our drop down now is populated with ABC. And so you can do Gym A, Session 1. Okay, same thing, we're going to select which groups we want here. We can drag them or click on them, either one is fine. If you decide you don't want a group there, you can, again, drag it or click on it, either one is fine. Okay, so let's say we've decided this bronze group is too big, we want to split it up. Okay, so let's right click on it. Or if you're on a Mac, I believe that's a command click if you don't have a mouse with a right click button. But if we right click on that, you can see we have a split option here. You want to split it up by the gyms that are contained in that group or by the birth dates. So let's say gyms just for now to show you what that looks like. You can see all of the gyms that have bronze gymnasts. They're labeled bronze with gym name right there. Okay, so you can then choose those groups individually, and it shows you how many gymnasts are contained in that. So we can make a session with individual gyms in the level. Okay, let's say we want to get rid of that. We changed our mind. If you want to combine them back into a single group, all you need to do is right click on any of the bubbles, doesn't matter which one, and it'll ask you, do you want to merge all the bronze bubbles back into one? You hit OK, it merges it back into a single bubble. Now let's look at the birth date groups. It will split this by birth date groups, ask you how many groups you want. It's going to try to make them relatively even. So let's say 3 groups by birth date, and this is going to give you the dates then. So bronze group 1, 10/21/15 or before, 10/22/15 to 3, looks like 3/23/17, and then this one is 3/24/17 or after. Okay, and you can see 26 gymnasts, 26 gymnasts, 26 gymnasts. Split them up evenly. All right, so maybe you want to change that. Maybe we want to make this first one a lot bigger for some reason. So you're going to right click on your second group here, and it's going to give you the list of gymnasts here that are contained in this group. And if we want to make that first group bigger, what we're going to do is move the top gymnast to the previous group. You can see we're at 26 right now, but when I do this, we're now at 25. Okay? And I can keep clicking that button as many times as I want. It's just going to take this first gymnast and move the gymnast up into this first group. And you can see this number over here is getting bigger. It's at 29 right now. Okay, so we'll do one more. Now it's a group of 30, and this group has 22. And we can close that. Now you can see here we've got 30, 22, and 26. Maybe that's the way we want it set up. And then we can put that group in to the session here and make a session that way, different levels, that's fine. It's not going to let you do men and women together because their equipment is different. That can't happen. Okay. So then again, if you change your mind, maybe you want to merge them all together again. You just do that again simply by right-clicking on it and hitting Recombine All Groups. Merge them back into one, and there we go. We're merged back together. Okay, so I will go through here and just make a couple sessions to kind of show you what this looks like. Let's split by birth dates there. We'll do a couple different things here. Split by gym, split by birth dates. All right, so we'll say session A1. Okay, we're just kind of making this up as we go along. All right, maybe that's good for our A1. We want it to be about 2 hours long. Works for me. All right, so we'll go like this. All of our times are set. Create session. Okay, now we can do either A2 or we can do our B, and you can see this changes to 1 because we don't have 1 yet, so B1. All right, maybe we want to do bronze and the rest of the silvers together. Okay, and B2. And we'll change this back to 8 a.m. And over here, we'll do C1. Maybe our C is actually our men. So we'll do a men's session over here. This, you can see the judges are different for men because they have more events. Okay, so 12 judges is 2 per event. Great session. Okay. And now we're on, if we select any of these, we're on to session 2, you can see here, right? Because we've already done session 1. So let's do an A2, just so I can show you some stuff then after this. So we'll select, maybe we'll just do a gold session. And you can see our A1 ends at 10:35, so this defaulted to 10:50 here, but we can change that to whatever you want. Maybe we want to do just 5 minutes between 1 p.m. we'll do for awards. Great session. All right. So there we have 4 sessions created. And let me show you now what happens if we want to add or edit groups. So let's say we want to change this first one. You can see A1 is here. It ends at 10:35. A2 starts at 10:40. So just keep that in mind. We're going to hit Add Edit Groups here. Okay, so what happens if I add a group into this, I add diamond, and that extends the time a lot, right? It gives you a little conflict down here. Your estimated awards time, 11:33, overlaps with session 2's warm-up of 10:40 by 53 minutes. So it's going to give you those conflict warnings if they exist, right? So it says you can continue, but you got to adjust session 2's start time to avoid the overlap. So let's change this to 11:35. We'll hit save. Okay, you can scroll down here and see that we added that in there. And then we're going to want to change this to 11:40 instead. Okay, and it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, so we've got to change obviously the rest of this as well. Okay, and so our awards time is going to be more like 2 now, and we're just going to hit update. Okay, so that's how you can update as you edit, if you decide you want to change things around. All right, so that's pretty much it for creating those sessions. Once you have them all created, you can hit print like so, and it's gonna give you a rundown here. Session A1 is women bronze 8/18/2016 or before, women silver. Here's all the gyms that are contained in that, et cetera, right? And then there's session B1, C1, A2. Okay, it gives you all the rundown there. You can also save it out as a PDF, which shows up pretty much the same um, as that print that I just showed you. Okay, so I'm going to delete these now just so I can show you the AI session creation, which does a pretty good job. It really is only meant for the single floor meets though, so we're going to delete this. At some point, we'll try to update it and let it figure out multi-floor meets, but for now, we've just got the single floors available. I'm just going to merge everything back together here. Okay. All right, so everything's merged again. All right, and basically you're just going to choose, are you doing one flight or two, and then how many judges per event, and then you're going to hit generate AI recommendations, and it will take 10 to 30 seconds here for it to run through the AI model and come up with some session suggestions for you. So it's going to try to lump levels together that are similar. So bronze with level 2, silver with level 3 or 4, gold with level 5, stuff like that, if it's applicable. Trying to combine groups, and it'll keep the women and the men separate as well. All right, so here we go. We have our recommended sessions here. So session 1, it recommends we just do bronze, shows you the duration here, kind of sets all of these warm-up times for you. It's saying let's start at 9 a.m. awards at 12, right? So it kind of tries to figure that out for you. You can change any of this if you want. And as you do that, you notice I changed this an hour earlier. Take a look at the time down here. If I change this to 9, it bumps this one an hour later, right? So it tries to keep everything pretty well organized for you, but if you start changing stuff around, you'll just want to double check and make sure that everything still looks correct. Okay, again, color coded for women and men. So if we scroll down, you can see our men's sessions are down here. It decided to split into 2 groups here in this way. If you decide you don't like that, because this is kind of a really short session here, maybe we want to move, some of our other levels down into this one, you can certainly do that just by dragging them around, and that changes your times around as well then. So you're going to have to double check at that point that everything still makes sense. It tries to figure out your durations and your warm-up times and all that sort of stuff as it goes, but the more you move around, the more you're going to have to double check it. All right. If you decide that you don't want 8 sessions, maybe we only want 7, you can delete the session, and all of those are now up here in the unassigned levels. So you're going to have to hit add new session or drag them into an existing level. Okay, so we can add a session at the bottom like that, or we can just drag them down into our existing men's session. We can put them all together. Okay, so we'll just do this real quick, drag them all down into this existing session. Like so. I'll try to get a multi-select programmed in here because that would be easier. Select more than one at a time rather than one at a time. I will keep that in mind for a future update. All right, so there we go. We've got our session 7 now. We just put all our men together. 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we're just going to change this like that. And then when you're satisfied with this, you just hit create these sessions. And you can see down here, we've got our created sessions. Okay, this is all the sessions the AI created. Like I said, it tries to keep things together. Silver and level 2 together, 3 and 4 together makes sense. Gold and level 5, stuff like that, right? So it does a pretty good job. And then, of course, you can add and edit the groups after you've made them as well. All right, I believe that pretty much sums up how to use our updated session manager. Any questions? You can always reach out, support@leapscores.com, or you can text us or call 717-478-1113. All right, good luck at your meet.